Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
And welcome to another Monday Mini, where I look up things that are wrong with me. You're welcome. Essentially, if you've been around for a while, listening for a minute, you probably already know when it comes to birthdays, Anney and I have a hard time, especially with the celebrations in general. Of course, her and my reasons vary, but I did wonder if this could be something that is pretty common. Yes, my birthday is coming up soon. We just passed Anney's birthday. This is like birthday season because our super producer Maya's birthday is up too. So many things are happening. Then all my partner's family's birthdays is around this corner too. And my mom. Man, there's so many birthdays. Apparently the most common birthday someone noted was September 9th.
My older brother's birthday is September 9th.
So yeah, September 9th is the most common birthday, which sounds about right. I'm pretty sure this is all like the New Year celebration for everybody. Awkward. And with all of that, yes, it is actually pretty common. This occurrence of not wanting to celebrate birthdays or being sad. In fact, it gets its own title as, they call it, birthday depression, surprise, or the birthday blues, which sounds better to me. It is not a DSM-5 diagnosis, so don't think that. But it is common enough that people have kind of like classified this and have written a lot about it. So here's a bit from verywellmind.com. Quote, birthday depression or the birthday blues refers to feeling sad, apathetic, or disinterested in celebrating or thinking about your birthday. In addition to experiencing sadness, birthday depression can also include a sense of low energy or focusing on the past, including everything you may or may not have accomplished so far. These feelings may arise in the days leading up to a person's birthday, on the actual day, and for some time after as well. So it never ends. Just kidding. So of course, there are several reasons why this occurs. Of course, depression and anxiety just in general can be it in itself, but also it can be related to family stuff or childhood trauma. I think we all know this. But here are some symptoms, just in case you needed some, and they are very specific, again, from verywellmind.com. Symptoms include a change in your mood that persists and lasts for several days surrounding your birthday, feeling more low, down, or sad than usual, crying more often than usual, ruminating on the past and goals unaccomplished, again, stressed about how much time you have left to live, not having much energy or motivation to do things, lack of interest in doing what you typically enjoy, changes in sleep, changes in appetite, difficulty focusing on or concentrating, physical aches or pains. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I've been in a lot of pain though. Wanting to avoid the actual day of your birth, and disinterest in celebrating your birthday, rejecting or refusing plans, desire to isolate yourself. Yes, and I found this quote from a Refinery 29 article that's honestly really relatable. It says, while there hasn't been much research into birthday depression specifically, anecdotally, the birthday blues are becoming a common feeling that people experience each year. Ella, 30, tells us about her own birthday depression. She says, social media really affects me. I see people making birthday posts claiming it's their birthday week, people who are spoiled all week by their friends and family. I get depressed because I don't get that, she shares. But when I do get spoiled, I feel like I don't deserve it. So I tend to not want to make my birthday a thing, even though deep inside, I think I do. Beth, 31, has similar sentiments. I feel behind on life's plans, or at least what is expected to be achieved by a certain age, she says. And she's not alone. Yeah, and I think we've talked about this situation specifically many times, not just related to birthdays, but I can see that being a concern. So for me, I feel the same way. I feel like if you don't celebrate my birthday, it kind of hurts my feelings because I feel like you've forgotten about me. But if you do celebrate my birthday, it feels overwhelming and I don't want that attention. So I have this like complex relationship with it that I want to be noticed, but I don't. I think it's the same thing when we talked about being a part of a podcast where we talk a lot about ourselves or the issues around, and then we are seen as not experts necessarily, but people who do know and should know certain things. And so if we don't meet that, you know, we feel like we failed. But it's one of those things like, yes, I want to be seen as a somewhat expert, but I also don't want to be seen. Mm-hmm. I want to do this, but I don't want people to recognize me. Like all of these things are both in one and the same. And I feel like this is how I feel in celebrating birthdays and holidays. It feels like it should be something and I can't get to that something, but if it's not done for me, it hurts my feelings. If you forgot about my birthday, I'm gonna be sad. If you send me a fruit plate, I'm gonna be sad. But if you didn't send me anything, that is a specific incident. If you send me dried fruit, that is. But you're supposed to know me and you don't know me. I'm like, why? So there's a lot of things. So the article goes on to explain about this a little more. People who get down on their birthday might be confronting fears of getting older and facing their own mortality, King says, a psychologist. For others, it could prompt a reflection on unrealized hopes, vanished expectations, and past failures. People might feel like they're not where they thought they would be or wanted to be at this stage of life. People might also feel overwhelmed by the pressure to feel happy and joyful on this day that is routinely dedicated to celebrations, at least in Western cultures. For some people, it might also activate traumatic memories, particularly if birthdays are a reminder of sad, overwhelming, or tragic experiences. And yeah, that's exactly one of those things of like, I don't necessarily think about the mortality of it all. Like I have gotten more like, oh, I'm getting old. But birthdays are not the thing. It's just more of like, oh, look at all the gray hairs, or oh, my face is saggy, or oh my God, I've reacted to retinol in a really bad way and my face is now puffy. Those moments, not necessarily birthdays. But then the other part of that of like, I should be celebrating. I love the people who love their birthdays. It is so fun to watch them really excited and really enjoying their birthday. It also is nice when, people will really remind you, like, that means you're alive. Celebrate that. And there's moments of like, yeah, I wish I was that person that could feel that way. And it's not something, and again, it's one of those moments of like, you really try to push yourself because you feel like you should feel a certain way, but you really have a hard time with that because now you have this double layer of guilt. In another conversation, they talked about maybe it's because I'm an introvert. Maybe it's an introverted thing. So here's some thoughts about why introverts may hate their birthdays according to introvertdear.com. Thank you to that person. One is that they get too much attention. This one's a no-brainer, they write. Most introverts don't like being the center of attention, so having an entire day dedicated to them can be quite uncomfortable. It is especially tough when they're put on display in front of a lot of people, anxiously waiting to see their reactions while opening gifts or making a wish and blowing out the candles to the tune of happy birthday. I say this because I love people opening gifts from me. But I have a hard time opening gifts because no matter what, there's this like dread of how I'm supposed to act. And if it doesn't meet my expectations, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed and get very sleepy. We know this is how I react emotionally. So I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. And people are really, really excited, especially when they're excited. And I'm so bad. I'm that person that gets excited about giving certain gifts because I'm like, they're going to really love this. And then I'm like, oh no. I need to calm down because they might not really love this. Like that moment, because I'm the same way. Then there's the whole idea of the social exhaustion of a party. Yeah, after my last big party, I quit because it was so overwhelming. I felt like I had failed in throwing a party, and it was for my own damn birthday. And I was like, I'll never do this again. Why did I do this? They write, and when we throw a party, we might end up feeling anxious and worrying if everyone is having fun. It's our party, so we feel the pressure and responsibility to be a good host and ensure everyone is enjoying themselves, but in the process, we sometimes forget to have a good time ourselves. There are definitely moments when I see people unhappy, and it feels like a reflection of me and our friendship, and I feel awful. Like, this is where I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Why did I do this to myself? And I really thought, because I used to love hosting things a lot, but for my birthday, it felt overwhelming. And that was like one of those moments of like, and this was pre-pandemic, of like tripping into, I don't think I like this. I don't like this feeling of being irresponsible. And if I see someone not having a good time or feeling like they're isolated, oh my God. Yeah, I'll think about that. I still think about those moments. I still think about specific moments from that birthday party that I'm like, I'll never do this again. And then there's another one, the pressure to make it a special day. Yeah, and they talked about the pressure from others to make it a special day can be too much. And I think that's too, like, I put that pressure on myself, but then I also put that pressure on other people. If they don't meet that, I feel really disappointed. What the hell? Yes, and I also love that they go on to talk about how they don't necessarily hate all birthdays. They just don't like their own. Yep, and I am that person. I love celebrating other people. And I will do it as best I can in the way that they want to do it. But I need to celebrate you, whether it's just me and you going to your favorite restaurant, whether it's me and you having this one like trip, whether it's me buying you something that you've wanted for like forever. Like I need to celebrate your birthday. But for me to do it on my own, it feels really overall overwhelming. And like, yeah, feeling like it's going to be too much for people, or that I'm going to disappoint people, or that I'm going to be disappointed myself. And like, there's so many lines to that. And yeah, there are things that these articles say that you can do. Here's a bit from the Refinery 29 article. Get reflective. Try to understand why you feel the way you feel. Like, be okay in your feelings. Kind of analyze a little bit. Try to see where that root comes from, if you can, if it's not too traumatic. Be careful of that. Practice self-compassion. Do the things that you want to do. Give yourself allowance to not celebrate if you don't want to just be a day, or just do something that's so different that you don't have to think about it. Like a couple of years ago, Anney, we went on that cabin trip. It was actually really lovely. And all we did was sit around with the three of us, playing games and eating schnitzel. Yeah, we went to Helen, y'all. We went to Helen, Georgia. If you know, you know. Lower your expectation. Stop pressuring yourself or others to meet a certain ideal or standard. And I think this is why I started traveling more for birthdays, because you can't really control everything, so you don't know exactly what to expect. So you just let it be. And that's kind of like, that being a part of that. And I kind of control enough to know the destination I want to go, but I don't know what all is going to be there, and just kind of letting that time fly. And knowing that sometimes doing too much gets me tired. So being able to enjoy a nice hotel room is also really good. Be honest. Let others know what you're thinking or what you do or don't want. And I think that's a big part. Sometimes I just don't, though. I don't know. And that's that part of the conversation. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Again, you and I have talked about this. Sometimes one of the things I do want is not to plan it.
Yeah.
And that's hard to figure out how to do that then. You do want to do something, you just don't know what, and you don't want to be the one to plan it.
Yep.
And then it says, give yourself permission to feel good. It's okay to be happy and be with who you love. So just really like, it's okay. Do what makes you happy. Do something that you like, whether it is just hanging out with your dog, eating a piece of cake from Whole Foods. You do you. If that makes you happy, if it makes you happy to go to a drag show to play bingo, do that. You know, hang out with a few of your friends and just have some drinks and sit around. That's lovely. And then there's one more that I found from Very Well Mind. Celebrate however you feel comfortable. This is about you. Do what you want. And again, like, this is finding your levels, your comfort levels, and abiding by them. Don't let other people take over and do things that you are uncomfortable with. Having a surprise party, I would kill somebody. You better let me know we're having a party, and then you better let me know what to expect, because if not, we're gonna fight. I'm not good with surprise parties. I had one thrown for me when I got my citizenship in middle school, and my best friend at the time knew I was going to start crying if I walked in, because not only was it embarrassing, it felt very othering. Like, they're trying to celebrate, and it was such a sweet idea, but I'm like, hey, wait, not only am I the only non-white person here, you're going to celebrate something that is kind of alienating because I'm the only non-white person here. So like, but it was such a sweet thought. Just a little bit like misdirected. So my friend at the time was like, hey, I'm gonna give you a heads up. They're about to do a surprise party. Act surprised. I know you're gonna freak out. I'm like, yes, I needed that. Thank you.
Yeah, good friend.
And I know. She was like, I got you. Don't cry. So with all of that, all of this complaining and all of these thoughts, it is sometimes nice to see that I'm not the only one. Anney and I think we both feel like sometimes we are too much in our heads when it comes to celebrating birthdays and trying to figure out why this is such a problem, and then feeling really bad for other people to have to deal with our problems. It's nice to see that we're not the only ones, and that people are talking about this a little more, and at the very least, like, not necessarily encouraging it or trying to like make it bigger, just like being able to be like, okay, I see. It can be different for different people. Different people have different reactions, and there's no such thing as a norm when it comes to birthdays and celebrations and all of that. Being told that they're happy you're here is lovely. I love, when people tell me happy birthday, I feel so great. At the same time, it does feel like, are you serious? Like, it's just out of courtesy. Because I love the Facebook when I get messages from people I have not talked to in 10 years. Happy birthday. I'm like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, it's interesting, the text message too, because like I'm a very equal opportunity texter. If you text me, I'll text you.
Right.
Happy birthday. This year I got some out of left field people I haven't heard from in a while texting me. And I was like, where is this coming from?
That feels awkward. What's even more awkward is when I don't have their phone number and I don't know who they are. And I'm like, oh no, who is this?
Yes. Well, I was on the other end of that once. I texted at someone I considered close. And I was like, happy birthday. And she was like, thanks. Who is this?
Awkward.
I never texted her happy birthday again.
That was actually one of the things on the list about like what introverts don't like about their birthday was about their phone calls. That I didn't think it was a big deal, but apparently it could be. But yes, with all of that, and for our listeners who says happy birthday to us, thank you so much. It is like really does kind, because we do feel like this is not the same thing as when I talk about the Facebook things. You know us, you know who we are, and you sincerely wishing us a happy birthday is always a feel good moment. Anney, you got so many happy birthdays and likes on your pictures because you're so cute anyway. But yes, this year, again, in order to take control of my own birthday, doing things that I do love, I am heading to Seattle. So we're going to be in Seattle, going to Mount Rainier for a couple of days because I want to see the mountains. I love the mountains. And then I'm going to see my friend in Portland for a day. Excited to see them. They come to Atlanta a lot, but the first time I get to see them there. And we're going to hopefully, again, look at some mountains, eat delicious food with people I love, including Anney, who is so excited about my birthday, but more so excited about The Last of Us Day, y'all.
Look, if you want pressure taken off of your birthday.
It's true. It was perfect. I actually really loved it. I was like, yeah, come on. So with that, I know Anney has actually gotten some suggestions from Savor because a lot of the people like food. I got you. So if you have any suggestions for us, please send it because we need more suggestions. I do have birthday plans already because I found a restaurant that's reminiscent of an Italian area that I went to. And I'm so excited about it. I hope they have some of the similar foods that I ate there. But yes, send us your suggestions, places that we should go, things that we should see. We need this. We would love those recommendations. Good coffee. Good coffee is always excited about that. Anything good, let us know. Because yes, this is how I'm celebrating birthday. I'm really excited about this trip because it's the first time I've ever been to Seattle. Yeah, it's the first time for you too, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I've wanted to go for a very, very long time. Pre-Last of Us.
Pre-Last of Us. Yeah, right. Just kidding.
Yeah.
We try to find a hotel that we do get to see some of the Last of Us shots. So hopefully we can see a little bit of it.
I haven't updated you on my
oh no,
itinerary that I'm going to try to do before you wake up. But
that's funny. I'm excited to know about it.
I'm going to that damn theater, and I might have found some very interesting plans to make it work. But I will be there.
Yeah. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know. If you're around, maybe we, come and say hey if you see us.
Yeah. This will be the last week of September. We will be there.
Yes.
So yeah, if you have any suggestions, they would be much appreciated because it's always nice to hear from people who live there and know the stuff. And also, if you have thoughts about this, if you have similar experiences, please write in and let us know. You can email us at stephanie@momstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Mom Never Told You. We're also on YouTube. We have a TeePublic store and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks, as always, to our super producer, Christina, our executive producer, Maya, and our contributor, Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Mom Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.